The clerk will designate the amendment,
Amendment number 46, offered by Mr. Davis.
and Mr. Davis is recognized for his amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This committee has held numerous hearings over the past few years with the Army Corps leadership testifying before us in this very room. And if there's one key thing I've taken away from these hearings, is that the Army Corps of Engineers is doing a lousy job of maintaining and constructing our nation's navigation infrastructure. Last night I spoke on the floor about the importance of moving swiftly to maintain and upgrade many of the locks and dams along the upper Mississippi and Illinois waterway system. Most of these locks and dams on this system were built in the 1920s and 30s and have far outlived their life expectancy. Mr. Chairman, 60% of the grain exported from the United States goes through these locks and dams before hitting the global marketplace. But today, delays at navigation locks are frequent and continue to get worse, sometimes actually lasting as long as 12 hours at a given time. In WRDA 2007, Congress authorized the construction of 7 new 1,200-foot locks along the upper Mississippi and the Illinois waterway system. Yet here we are, 9 years later, and the Corps still hasn't even completed a pre-construction engineering and design for these projects because the Obama administration refuses to invest any money in the Navigation and Ecosystem Sustainability Program, or NESP program. This means that construction for these projects may not be able to begin when the money for them is available. When these projects are delayed, it costs producers like the farmers in my district money, it costs the shippers who move commodities up and down the rivers money, and it also delays good-paying construction jobs, including union jobs, that will be created by these projects. And it ultimately costs taxpayers more money paying for repairs and other maintenance that you would expect on locks and dams that are more than 80 years old. Mr. Chairman, I filed this amendment because the Corps has shown us time and time again how its own bureaucracy and, frankly, its apparent lack of understanding the significance of these navigation projects has prevented them from being effectively managed and prevented them from effectively managing the Inland Waterway Trust Fund. With this amendment, we will direct the GAO to conduct a study analyzing alternative models of managing the trust fund, including the responsibility of developing project schedules and making expenditures from the fund. Frankly, I believe that a body resembling the Inland Waterway Users Board and including other key stakeholders, including government representation, would do a much more efficient job of identifying a project schedule and making expenditures to priority projects that have already received approval from this body. After all, these are the people actually paying into the trust fund and, in theory, should be receiving its benefits. Mr. Chairman, we must do something. This study could provide some important options to address these longstanding issues that this committee and many have had with the Corps, and maybe this will finally show the Corps that we are serious about these projects and that waiting for 10 or even 20 years for movement on a project authorized by Congress is unacceptable. With that, I urge adoption, and I yield back.
I thank the gentleman. I support the gentleman's amendment. Any other members wish to be heard on the amendment? Seeing none, the question on the amendment, all those in favor say, signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by nay. The ayes have it, and the amendment is agreed to.